Looks like she's in pain after that pass. Had been dealing most recently with the groin injury.
Timeout is called. Caitlin Clark looks like she's in real pain after that pass. You can see her limping, clutching her groin as she heads to the bench. The public address asks everyone to clear the floor. Clark sits hunched over, tears welling up as trainers attend to her. This wasn't just any play, and this wasn't just any injury. What started as pure celebration inside Boston's TD Garden quickly turned into a nightmare. Moments earlier, the Indiana Fever had beaten the Connecticut Sun for their third straight win, a massive statement victory that sent Fever fans into a frenzy. The crowd was roaring. You could hear chants of "Let's go Fever" echoing off the walls, drowning out any notion that this was supposed to be Connecticut's home.
No update. Just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there.
Yeah, just kind of to follow up on that. Looked like she was kind of grabbing at her right groin area. Is that the concern?
Yeah, if that's the one she was grabbing at, I don't know which one it was, but yeah, I mean, that's it.
For a few minutes, it felt like Indianapolis had invaded Boston. Then it all stopped. The cheers fell into stunned silence as Clark grimaced, clutched her groin, and limped to the sideline. Cameras zoomed in, capturing tears streaming down her face as she sat on the bench, a face that told the whole story. This wasn't fatigue. This wasn't routine. This was pain. And it hit everyone in that building at once. The Fever's star, the WNBA's biggest draw, might have just re-injured the same area that had sidelined her earlier this season. After the game, Fever coach Stephanie White could only offer a vague, nervous update. No update. Just felt a little something in her groin. We'll get it evaluated and see what happens. Reporters pressed her for clarification, and she confirmed that the concern was, indeed, her groin, but she didn't know which side or how severe.
Right here, she explodes, makes the backdoor pass, and immediately grabs the inside of that right leg.
This wasn't just a minor hiccup. Clark had already missed games earlier this year with a groin injury. This one looked worse. The whole scene was heartbreaking and completely avoidable, because the truth is, this wasn't just bad luck. This was the predictable result of months of unchecked physicality against Caitlin Clark that the league's referees have allowed to spiral out of control. To understand how we got here, you have to rewind to earlier this season and to the moment this vendetta truly began. On June 17th, also against the Connecticut Sun, the game crossed a line. The Fever were trailing by 10 when Clark began backing down her defender, J.C. Sheldon. Out of nowhere, Sheldon jabbed a finger straight into Clark's eye as she stumbled back, visibly shaken. Seconds later, Marina Mabrey barreled into her with a hard body check, sending her stumbling backward again. These weren't basketball plays. These were targeted shots. The cameras caught Sophie Cunningham, one of Clark's fiercest protectors, stepping in immediately. She confronted Sheldon and Mabrey, making it clear that their cheap shots wouldn't go unanswered. Later in that game, Cunningham wrapped up Sheldon on a drive and took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional, but it was also a message. You don't get to bully our star without consequences. Yet, the league's response: barely anything, minimal fines, no suspensions, no strong statement, and the message sent to every opponent since has been clear. You're allowed to hammer Caitlin Clark without fear of real punishment. Fast forward to this latest game in Boston, and the stage was set. You could feel the tension even during warm-up. Players stared each other down. The air was heavier than a regular
test. But right now on the bench, after looking like she is in some pain.
Season matchup. This was payback. This was personal. Fever fans turned TD Garden into a home court advantage, chanting and cheering so loudly it sounded like Indianapolis had made the trip to Boston en masse. The Fever dominated most of the game, with Kelsey Mitchell scoring 20, and Natasha Howard posting a double-double. The team looked unstoppable, improving to 12-10 and solidifying their playoff hopes, and then, just when everything seemed to be going perfectly, it happened. Clark exploded past her defender, made a sharp backdoor cut, and dished a pass. Then she stopped abruptly, clutching her groin, her face twisted in pain. She walked toward the basket support, lowered her head, and slammed it against the stanchion in frustration. And for the first time since her college championship loss, Caitlin Clark cried on the court. That's when the arena went quiet. Fans who had been screaming moments earlier sat frozen, watching the face of the league visibly break down.
We probably won't get many details about the injury, but it was honestly just so heartbreaking to see because in that moment, she just looked so defeated. And Caitlin Clark is somebody, you know, she hides it really well. And I don't know if hiding it or she handles it is probably the right thing to say. She handles the pressure. She handles all of the media spotlight, the attention, the expectations of how she performs on the court, the expectations of the ratings for her games. She handles all of that so well. And this season has just been so tough for her when it comes to injuries.
Her teammates gathered around her, their concern written all over their faces. It wasn't just the pain in her body, it was the frustration in her heart. You could see it, the weight of everything she's endured. This season pouring out in those tears. This injury represents more than just bad luck. It symbolizes everything wrong with how the WNBA has failed to protect its biggest star. Clark has missed over 10 games this year already due to leg injuries, groin, quad, overuse, all of which stems from the excessive physicality she's faced, and the league has done little to stop it. This pattern goes beyond a single game. Throughout the season, opponents have been allowed to hack, shove, and slam into her possession after possession. Fouls that would draw immediate whistles for other stars are ignored when it's her. And this game in Boston took it to another level. You could see it clearly. Aaliyah Boston got slapped in the face by Tina Charles with no flagrant call. Sophie Cunningham was elbowed in the head and told by referees that she flopped. Even Clark herself was seen joying with referee Mike Price after another no call, visibly fed up. At one point, Clark's brother tweeted, "Make no mistake, this is on the refereeing," and he wasn't wrong. The referees didn't just let the game get physical, they actively made it worse. They missed blatant fouls, they allowed dangerous plays to continue, and their arrogance made the night more about themselves than the players. This wasn't just incompetence, it was negligence. When asked afterward about the officiating, Stephanie White, who has been fined before for criticizing referees, couldn't hide her frustration. "You're trying to get me fined again?" she asked with a weary smile. Then she continued, "There's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach. I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is. We've got to help her learn to adjust and use it against them." But the level of physicality overall in our league has been at a different level than it's been for a long time. Her words spoke volumes. She knows. The players know. The fans know. Everyone watching can see it. The WNBA is allowing its brightest star to get battered every single night, and now she might miss the All-Star game, where she was supposed to serve as captain and participate in the three-point contest in front of her home crowd, instead of celebrating.
Sophie commits a hard foul on JC Sheldon. Again, as JC Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased here, but I'm going to give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional. It was absolutely intentional.
The league's officials are enabling her destruction. Clark's injury on this night was the inevitable result of months of mishandled officiating and misplaced priorities, and the price isn't just hers to pay. The Fever's playoff hopes, the All-Star weekend, the league's momentum, all of it now hangs in the balance. It doesn't have to be this way. Every other major sport protects its stars. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tom Brady, Serena Williams. The league's bent over backward to shield them from unnecessary harm. Because they knew those stars were the product, the WNBA needs to wake up and do the same before it's too late. This isn't just about fairness, it's about the survival of the league itself. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player, she's the reason arenas are sold out. She's the reason ratings are breaking records. She's the reason sponsors are writing checks. She's the reason.
And Sheldon is going to keep the pressure on Clark. You see Tina Charles with the responsibility of guarding Aaliyah Boston. High hedge on the ball screen on Clark. Inside perfectly. One thing you know about Tina Charles, she has every shot in her arsenal.
Now Sheldon, the height disadvantage against Howard.
Yeah, good
Millions of
recognition.
young girls are wearing jerseys with her name. But if she can't stay on the floor, if she keeps getting targeted and hurt, all of that momentum could vanish overnight. When she limped to the bench in Boston, tears streaming, hitting her head against a stanchion in frustration, it wasn't just a rookie in pain. It was a warning to the league. You're letting this happen. If the WNBA doesn't take a long, hard look at its officiating and its culture of unchecked physicality, they risk squandering the greatest opportunity the league has ever had. Fever fans know it. Her teammates know it. Her coach knows it. Even casual fans tuning in for the first time can see it. The question now is, will the league do something about it? The WNBA has a choice to make. Protect your star or watch her fade under the weight of your failure. It's time to demand better. Wish Caitlin Clark a speedy recovery in the comments below. And let's all hope the league finally wakes up before it's too late.